That looks pretty good. Sweet. That's cool. Walking through the wilderness. They got like 30 of those out now, you know?
No kidding.
Yeah, well, not 30, that was stupid. But they've got a bunch of these they just did recently release. The 6-year bourbon's out now. There's a bunch of store picks that you said you mentioned seeing a bunch of recently. I did too. There's a rye store pick, there's a bourbon. There's a third one, I can't remember what it is now to save myself. I can't tell for sure. Okay. Anyway, welcome back to the Whiskey Classroom. I'm Jason.
I'm Adam.
And we've got Instagram followers. You voted, we replied. It was between Wilderness Trail and Early Times Bottled and Bond, and Wilderness Trail ended up being the victor. So, we're going to do a single bottle review on this one. It could have been anything, but this is the only one that I had, and the only one that we have between us. So it was going to win by default in terms of a Wilderness Trail. First thing I want to do, though, is make a lesson correction. Because this was in our very first video where Adam was doing the blind flight. So I think the biggest mistake anybody can make is not correcting one. So I'm going to correct one right now. This is no longer a pot distilled product. It used to be when they started. They started with a hybrid pot still system, but they have been for a while now using column stills for all of their whiskey. They still do use pot distillation for their non-whiskey products, so they're unaged, the things that they're producing. So my apologies to Wilderness Trail if anybody got the wrong impression. One thing I didn't mention about this one, though, is that it's actually a sweet mash whiskey versus a standard sour mash. So for those of you who are not familiar with sweet mash versus sour, a sour mash whiskey is usually made with what they call setback. They take a little bit of the fermented mash from the batch before and use it as a starter for their next batch when we talk about sour mash. It's kind of like if any of you ever made friendship bread and a person gives you that bag of dough starter, that's essentially, it's analogous to that in terms of the whiskey making process. So they avoid that. They start with fresh mash every time for their product, at least for this one that we know of, because it literally says on the label, you can't read that. It says sweet mash right on the side of the bottle.
So I was wondering.
Adam's confirmed. So, do you know anything about Wilderness Trail, Adam?
No, I very new to the product, so I'm excited that people on Instagram decided that this was going to be it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That was weak. Anyway, I picked this one up originally because I was into wheated bourbon. I still am. I was into wheated bourbon at the time, and I thought I had to have everything that was a wheater. So I just kept searching and searching and searching around me until I found everything that was made with wheat in the mash bill. And I guess that's another good lesson to teach. Most bourbons that, if you're familiar, use a combination of corn. We know bourbon has to be at least how much corn?
50, is that 50%? 51%. That's off.
Fire the teacher. He has no idea what he's talking about. Right under the bus with tire marks, and I was the driver. 1,000 miles. I didn't even hit the brakes, and I was shifting gears. Thanks, Garth. Cheers. No, anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, how much corn? 51% at least. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much corn they use. I did not investigate their mash bill. And it may not be fully disclosed. Some distilleries don't do that.
This one actually does.
Is it on there? Great. Read it, because I haven't even read the label. See, I'm failing too. Fire me.
Yeah, so just to get you under the bus as well, it looks like we're doing a 64% corn, 24% wheat, and a 12% malted barley.
Okay, great. So now ordinarily what would happen is that, would you say it was 24% wheat?
Yes,
okay.
24%.
Ordinarily that 24% wheat would be 24% rye grain. So there's usually how a wheated bourbon is developed. Take out the rye, put in the wheat, and you've got something. Because that's actually a pretty high wheat percentage and low on the corn.
Yeah.
They bumped that up. And the barley at the end was, what was that, 64 and 24?
64, 24, 12.
Okay, so we're up to 88 and 12. Yeah, 12 would be the leftover. So it's pretty high barley content too. Not pot distilled, but it is a sweet mash. I think it's meaty. I'm sorry, I get a New York strip steak out of that every time I put it under my nose, and I've done it, I think, a lot of times. Even though I'm not down too much, I like to save this one because it is different. It's special. It's when it falls into that Good Friday night pour category.
Sure.
Or a special occasion. It is findable now in a lot of places, though. It's starting to get out of this area and push. Well, I saw another Instagram post the other day about someone finally getting it in New Jersey.
Okay.
So it's getting into more states.
Starting to grow a little bit.
Finally getting to push it out. So yeah, it's kind of, it reminds me also of that watershed from the other day too. It's got almost that grassy, fresh cut hay.
Yeah.
But not like the watershed.
No,
This is a little more muted.
I
can't get past that now that I've said it. I can't find anything else.
I'm getting some alcohol.
I'm getting past that. That's not bothering me too bad.
A little spicy.
Is it spicy?
Yeah, I'm getting a little spice on that.
Gotcha. Mmm.
And a little sweet. I mean, yeah, I get that. The grass sweets. The grass is sweet.
Yeah, there's some sugar there.
Mhm.
It's not brown sugar. To me, I
No.
get that T-bone or New York strip steak, a little bit of grass. I don't know. That's where I'm living with it. It's not unpleasant. I like it.
No.
Really, really a good one. I'm going.
Cheers.
Okay, I found one where the nose and the palate meet.
Yeah.
It is. I'm getting exactly the same thing as soon as I taste it.
Yeah, it was
right
savory.
up my nose. It is. It's really a savory. Maybe change your grilling whiskey.
That could be. Yeah. I mean, it depends what you're throwing on the grill. This and mixers could go right at it.
One after another, maybe.
There you go.
Let's trade off. Let's do this one. Then we'll do this one. Did I like this one better? Maybe I like that one better. It was good.
It was all right.
And incidentally, this particular one also I forgot to mention. Two things. Number one, it's also a single barrel. This one happens to be. This is barrel number 15. Is that a D? 15D. Is that two Ds? Is that two Ds?
I'm looking at 15D0120D.
Yeah, so it was D's. Okay. I thought I was seeing that right. Yeah, this is barrel number what he said. And it's also a bottled and bond. There's some more vocabulary.
Yeah.
Might as well teach while we're here, hadn't we? Although I don't want to ruin our vocabulary lesson that we do here in the future, but it's always good to review. But just bottled and bond means several things. Number one, it has to be bottled at exactly 100 proof. The second thing is that it also must be distilled within a single season. Now, the distilling season is usually split right in the middle of the calendar. So January to June or July to December. So it has to be in one of those two parts of the calendar year. Third thing is it has to be from one distiller. So they cannot source whiskey from somewhere else and bottle it and call it a bottled and bond product. And I believe that the last thing...
Time statement.
Yes, that's true too. 4 years it must be, at least 4 years old. And the bonded part comes from federal supervision. So the feds are watching every step of the process. It's a federally bonded warehouse that the whiskey is aged in. And the whole bottled and bond history comes from the fact that there were a lot of shady products that people were trying to push out that were frankly quite dangerous. And federal government intervention. And they decided, okay, we're going to set some regulations on how whiskey can be produced. So there's where the bonded, or bonded is kind of an antiquated word in our day and age, but it's essentially a bond is a type of insurance. You are being guaranteed that there is this quality of whiskey in this bottle. It was bottled under these conditions, and everybody's getting not the same product, but at least the same conditions the product was made in. So, hey, we like it.
Yeah,
Bottled and bond or not, it's really good.
Sure.
So, I'm liking.
Yeah, I
Definitely. Cheers to Wilderness Trail.
Yeah,
good
that's
job.
a great
I would
product.
go after definitely more of their products.
Sure.
Even though right now this is the only one I have. Do we talk price point?
we have not.
No, I think this one, okay, don't get me wrong here, right around the $42 or $43 mark. So not a terribly dear one, not the cheapest in the world, but definitely if you like this product and you're getting low on it, it's worth going after another bottle. I'm excited about getting my hands on some of the others now.
Yeah,
I've
I think
had
that's.
this one for a while.
I'm gonna put some of those in my sights.
That's unique. It's like nothing I think that I have at all in the cabinet. And it's a great Friday sipper. And like I said, you might decide this one is really good on the grill.
Yeah.
Because you're out there with the wings.
Yeah, excellent.
So,
Really nice.
coat in the glass good?
Yeah, I'm getting a nice
Yeah.
finish on it. I mean, as too, when it hits my tongue, I mean, I'm getting a nice little burn even up on the top of my roof.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
got a nice little heat to it, but nothing overbearing. Yeah, it's definitely something I could enjoy. Turning some wings outside. Yeah, nice product.
What's the grade?
Oh, this is gonna pass flying colors.
Okay. You like an A on it?
Oh yeah, I think
Definitely
so.
on the
Yeah,
shelf?
Sure,
Go back to it? Yeah. I think I'd give it an A. Get yourself a bottle and you try it.
sure.
There we go. Sign them off, brother.
All right. Well, always remember, make sure to drink your homework and
Class dismissed.